Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. I know that your time is very valuable, and I promise I will keep it to the point. Today's session, as you all know, is about the UAE advantage. We have with us Robert from IFZA. He's the client engagement manager, and he has joined us from UAE to help us understand the UAE advantage. So, everyone, we are going to start this webinar in a couple of minutes because I want everyone to join who have registered for this webinar. So, meanwhile, Robert, how are you? How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing good, and I'm delighted to be here. And I'm really looking forward to this conversation, to this webinar, to show the UAE advantage to you and to all the interested viewers, and to explain more about how to set up a business in the UAE and especially in IFSA.
Perfect, perfect. So before we dive in, here are a few housekeeping points that I would like to mention here for our for our viewers. That this session is being recorded, and there will be a live Q&A session at the end of this webinar. In case you have missed anything, you can always reach out to us and ask your questions. So, all right, I think we should just start and let's go into it. Robert, the first thing that we would like to discuss is let's start with the context because as we have already given a little bit of hint to our audience that what this discussion is going to be about. Because there are so many reasons that so many business owners are looking at the UAE right now, it definitely is not a random thing to see, right? So it's a response to what's happening in the global economy. So what do you have to say about it?
We're still a stable region, and we are still a very interested hub for business people who wants to set up the business in the UAE, especially in Dubai, and who are looking for a freelance company which are flexible to have 100% foreign ownership and also are able to act from everywhere around the world and choose Dubai as a global hub.
Right. Although, I mean, if we know that we are living through a very extraordinary disruption these days, regulatory environments in the West are tightening, and it is impacting somehow the UAE infrastructure and you can say the economy as well. Tax regimes are changing, supply chains are shifting. Uh, there are some questions that some people or some of the clients are concerned about that where is the smart place to be positioned over the next 10 years?
I mean, I had recently a conversation, and we dived into Dubai 2040, and so what's are going on in Dubai, especially developing in residential area and commercial area is fantastic. And in my opinion, there are more people who want to come to the UAE, but recently we had a lot of inquiries, and since a few days we have a negotiated deal. We are busy. We are busy like before, and again, what Dubai is planning for families, for business owners, and what they are giving as a place to live is fantastic. And in my opinion, the population will be doubled within the next 10 to within the next 10 years, of course.
That's great. That's great. Speaking of the numbers, Robert, we have some numbers here at our screen. One of the most common thing that we hear from business owners who haven't yet explored the UAE is that I'm not sure if it's the right time for a business like mine. And I understand that instinct because you are only going by the headlines. The picture isn't complete. Let's just put some facts on the table. Robert, you can walk us through what makes the UAE's business environment generally distinctive.
Yeah, I mean, the first of all is the place to be, Dubai as a hub where you have the best circumstances to live, to build your home, and of course you have all these positive side effects as well when you start or incorporate a company, like let's say for 0% corporate tax and personal tax, and yeah, I mean, you have access to the interesting markets around the world. I mean, you have access to Asia. You are in the strongest region in the Middle East, and even Europe is just a short flight away. And you can shift those regions with a time gap from 3 hours plus to minus, and you can be full aware, let's say in Europe, and you can also enter the market in Asia, and that's the most important thing when it comes to incorporate a company in the UAE or in Dubai, even when it comes to business setups. Um, you please tell me a country in the world where you can get a license within 48 hours, and you will be able to start your business properly, either in trading or in professional, let's say consulting services, tax invoicing, etc. I mean, we are the fastest growing region in the world, and we are also, again, we are the stablest region in the world, in my opinion. And I'm from Germany. It's hardly to say that in that place, but that's what I learned over the last few years.
That's great. So that was just the text picture, Robert. What about the ease of setup and operating environment? And you just explained that how easy it is to set up a business in the UAE within like just 48 hours. So some of the clients are not very familiar with the jurisdictions. Like, what about the free zone structure specifically? Because I think a lot of people are not very familiar with that. So how do you explain that to our clients in the most simplest way?
hmm So a free zone in the UAE is a designated zone where businesses benefits from 100% foreign ownership, as I said before. So you don't need a local partner or sponsor to incorporate your company. You have the full ownership and the full control of the company. Um, Also, in a free zone, you have different structures as in a mainland company. The regulation framework is slightly different and more into international business setups adapt. Also, IFZA is one of 40 free zones in the UAE, but we are the fastest growing free zone in the UAE, and we are designed for SMEs and growing businesses. And what we did over the last 5 years is, uh, we did actually a great job. If the growth to a huge company, we have over 800 employees recently. As I said before, we are the fastest growing free zone in the UAE, and our approach is always to give or to provide the best service for our clients.
Right, I can definitely vouch for that, Robert, because I have been personally dealing with IFZA from the past 2 years. So definitely, this is something great that you have said. So now let's talk about what actually it looked like in practice. Like, what is the process of setting up the company? Because I want our audience to get a little bit of, a snapshot of what this process would look like for them in future.
So yeah, when it comes to let's say when it comes to a lead and someone wants to set up a business in the UAE in IFSA, that's what the journey looked like. It will start with a consultation, which is of course free and which I will offer to everyone who's attending today. Just reach out and I will explain it for your again. We will understand your business. We will recommend you the right structure and activity. Also, when it comes to visa requirements. And yeah, that's what we are literally doing. And when the structure is built, we can quickly move forward and submit your application. When it comes to an individual shareholder, we just need a passport in the first place, the proof of address as well. And we can do the business setup from everywhere in the world, where you have access to the World Wide Web, and you can share us the necessary documents. Once this is done, and we have all the asked documents. Let's say the trade license will be issued in around 48 hours. And once we issue the license, we can go for the visa. Let's say we submitted all documents for the license on Monday. Wednesday will be issued the license, and we can start the visa process even on Wednesday. And you will be a member of the UAE within business related in 2 days. And when it comes to visa inquiries, it will be take another, let's say, 3 to 5 working days. But let's say when the world you can open a business within 48 hours and be a resident with under 10 days altogether. I mean, that will only happen in Dubai, in the UAE.
Right, that was fast actually, Robert. I mean, that's really fast. So, what does the cost looks like here?
About the cost, so we have several packages, and we always try to find the right one for our clients. Our packages starts from 12,900 dirham, but that's without a visa accommodation. Let's say it will start from 12,900, and that's roughly 3,500 US dollars. That will cover your license. When it comes to upgrade the license for visa purpose, it will be 14,900 dirhams. That includes also license, establishment card, and one visa, which will be free for life when you choose IFZA as your free zone.
Wow, that's impressive. So, and for the this is for the like businesses who just want a consultancy setup, right? But those who want a physical presence in the UAE for like on an operational level, what is in IFZA's was for those clients?
I mean, we have also in our packages, we have on where we have flexi desk options, working spaces in our free zone, in our buildings and facilities. Many of our clients start in the first place with a flexi desk, and let's say the scale their businesses and they will hire employees and it grows. Of course, at the end, you will end up and have a 150 square meter office with a nice blick to Dubai downtown, and that's actually happens mostly to our clients.
Right. That's great. That's very helpful for the clients who are looking for some, small level setup just to enter the UAE's market to test the waters. That's great, Robert.
Yes.
So now let's go to the objections section because I think this is where a lot of people really need to hear some honest answers because this is quite a crucial subject to discuss. So, overcoming the objections, I want to spend some real time here because I want to speak with you on this part in a little bit detail so our audience can understand like what is the situation currently there. So, because this is where most business owners get stuck, not because the facts aren't good, but because the perception doesn't match the reality. Okay, so Robert, can you just let us go through some real numbers and starting with the banking because I hear that's the most difficult one to start with. So please.
Yeah, banking is the number one concern, and I will be straight with you. 3 to 4 years ago, it was legitimately complicated. Some banks had legendly process, lots of documentation, and some businesses struggled. But that has changed. The UAE, made the process smoother and more client based for the when it comes to applications. And if so, we are helping and guiding our clients with all common banks in the UAE, which will be free of charge from our side. That the clients or you guys will have the best setup to start your corporate bank account and without any struggle or overpaid bills to to um, to agencies.
Right. So that was like quite honest answer, Robert, because this thing comes in the package with the UAE different setup. So second big one is the geopolitical stability, which is the, you can say, the elephant in the room that people might want to discuss. So the Middle East was in the news constantly. We recently got some updates on that part as well, but still some people wants to know that how do business owners think about this?
Yeah, I mean, we are still in the UAE. We are a specific country, and yeah, we have not been involved in a regional conflicts for years. Um, it maintains active diplomatic and trade relationships in the UAE with over 190 countries. And yeah, the UAE's policy is built around being a hub for trade, travel, finance, and that requires stability, and they have delivered it consistently for decades. So we are a stable region. Um, yeah, let's say we were in the middle of a conflict, but since the ceasefire was negotiated, the region is quiet as before, and yeah, we're looking forward to a bright future.
Definitely. I mean, it was quite a relief to hear that the peace deal was signed. So, the third thing that the people and the audiences are most concerned about is the reputation. Some clients that have told us that they worry their clients or investors might perceive a UAE address as somehow lesser than of a UK or a USA address. So, what do you have to say about that?
I understand the concern, and I'd push back gently on the premise. Amazon's MENA regional headquarters is here, Microsoft, Google, Siemens, HSBC, all significant UAE presence. The UN has agencies here. The EU, the European Union, has its regional diplomatic hub. The UAE address has genuinely become a signal of international ambition and credibility, not a liability. 5 years ago, this was a more nuanced conversation. And today, the UAE address opens doors for everyone.
True, that's 100% correct. I completely agree with that. So the last one, the last objection that most people do is the distance. For a business whose primary clients are in Europe or North America, is the UAE too far?
As I said before, no. In my opinion, you are in the best region to set up your business. For example, Dubai to London is under 7 hours. And the UAE time zone is a genuine advantage for doing business across Europe and the Middle East, Africa, and Asia. And you can play all these markets in just one single day. And that's why the UAE is very interesting. And also, they use the UAE as their holding and operation jurisdiction while serving clients globally. So, yeah, in my opinion, UAE is from the location here. There is no better location when you want to play all these markets together.
Right. So before we dive into the question and answer session, I would like to shed some light on some important concerns that I used to hear from a lot of my clients who are some prospective leads or who already have been my clients. So they are quite concerned about the market entry because they are mostly UK based clients. So from moving from UK to the UAE at a complete operational level, it might sound a little overwhelming for them or for their business or for their books, I might say. So how what do we suggest them that if you are interested somehow in the UAE's market but you are not getting a proper operational level, so what would be the best option for them to enter the UAE's market?
I mean, in the first place, you can open a license without a visa if you're not sure to relocate completely. And you can, let's say, when in the European winter, you will test Dubai as your second home base, and
Mhm.
you have an ongoing business when you're holding a license here. That will be the first place, but I will guarantee you that the people will love the service quality, will love the life in Dubai. It's family friendly, and yeah, it will give you a good feeling, and you will be you will be looking forward to relocate it in the second place. But in the first place, of course, people have some concerns or not sure about it because it's a huge step for them and for their families. And that's the advantage that you can open the license remotely. And if you decided to go the big step for you or even with your family, you can choose the visa option in the second place. And there is
Right.
no rush.
Sure, I can definitely vouch for that. I think, Robert, I myself have been living in the UAE for the past 4 years with my family. So it's definitely more than a home to us. So there's another concern that I would like to discuss with you. I recently got this query actually from Canada. They were some business owners in Canada. They were living there. They have everything, but they wanted a UAE business address. They wanted to set up in the UAE, but it was very difficult for them to reside in the UAE. Like they were living in Canada, they have their life there, but they still want to do business in the UAE. So, what do you have for those people who wants to have a business in the UAE and they want to keep the passage open, like whenever they want to come? And another question, you can answer both at the same time. Like there is a limit for the visas. Like for example, if there's an employment visa, they have to re-enter within 6 months. And if there is an investor or partner visa, they have to enter every 12 months. So is it possible that you can shed some light over these types of visas and what are the pros and cons of these visas? Because these are the most common questions that I get from my clients.
Mhm. I mean, if you choose or decide to go with an investor visa, and you will be the general manager of your company, you just have to show up in the UAE once a year. If you're choosing the employment visa. You have to come every 6 months. You will need the stamp. But even, let's say, you are not able to come after 6 months or after 1 year. We can extend that without losing your residency. And it's called re-entry permit. It's you have to apply it before you leave and before you enter the UAE. And with that re-entry permit, you extended your your time outside of Dubai. And yeah, at the end, it will cost a small fee to extend your stay. But sometimes I know there are something in the family or business related, and you're not able to enter the plane. And that's why we always yeah guide to our clients and partners, no rush at all. But if you been longer than 6 or 12 months outside of the UAE, just do the re-entry permit. Get in touch with us. We will help you, and you will not lose your residency. And just go ahead.
Right, that's great. So, yeah, most of the questions were around all of these topics. I think if we have any question and answer from the audience, we can deal in our upcoming session. So before concluding or before jumping over to the question and answer section, Robert, is there anything else that you would like to shed light on, or you would like to tell our audience that what what exactly is the UAE advantage as per our webinar's title?
Yes, I will be more than happy to have a conversation to the audience and to explain them more about possible business structures, the corporate tax advantage, um, the be part of the community in the UAE to benefit of the networking of IFZA and to show them what's in for them when they are doing the big step in the first place. But then what we will give back to them is a huge community of entrepreneurs, trading, and professional consulting service community. And I'm very happy to share that with them and to set up new companies for you and your clients.
Right. So thank you so much, Robert, for such insights. We do have some questions from the chat. So we have a question here that which industries or business models are currently seeing the strongest opportunities in the UAE?
Wait, let me just read I just opened the chat. Which industry or business models are currently seeing the strongest? I mean, it's hard to say to decide for one. You always, if you're a specialist in a professional service, let's say in consulting, obviously you have to go with that. But if you're more related in drop shipping, trading, or in those activities, which is more belongs to commercial, you have to choose that. Both are strong activities, and at the end it's related to you and your business approach, but we are open for everyone who's looking and who wants to start a new incorporation, and I'm more than happy to share the activities and to help them to find the right community where they can start their networking.
That's right. That's right. So this the same question continues that she's asking that who would you say should not consider setting up a business in the UAE and why? And there's another question that might link with this one that are there any restrictions on any nationalities that are not able to open up a business in the UAE, and is there any nearby chance that those restrictions will be lifted up?
I mean, I would never recommend to not open or to not try to start a business. But at the end, if you never tried it, you will never know if it was successful or not. But I guess to do the step is a success itself. And the result of it, we are human beings. We have to learn every day. We will do mistakes. But when you take your notes from it and your learning effect, you will become stronger back. But the best do is just do it. And in the second place, the success is written on a different page. And second question was
It was nationalities. If there are any nationalities,
nationality. Mhm.
yeah.
I mean, we are open to everyone. Of course, sometimes there are, let's say, we have to decide it from case to case, and it's always related to the individual shareholder. And the UAE is open for everyone. I mean, even when it comes to living together, all the religions, all the people from the different places are in Dubai, and it's fantastic in my opinion to live with such a different cultures together, and each culture can learn things from other culture, especially when it comes to Northern Europeans and Asian and African. I mean, it's amazing, and that's only happens in the UAE that they will live peaceful together.
Yeah, that's right. I agree with that. So there's another question in the chat room. If you can read and answer that, then what advice would you give to someone comparing the UAE with other international business hubs such as Singapore, UK, or Canada?
I mean, that's a completely different hubs in the world and well-known hubs in the world. I mean, our big advantage, it's mentioned like the webinar, it's the UAE advantage, and we are the safetiest. The UAE is the safetiest country in the world. We have the zero tax income, and 9% what when it comes to our When it comes to a profit over from 375,000, that's roughly 100,000 USD.
Yeah.
And imagine over 100,000 USD, you have to pay 9%. That's literally nothing compared to these countries. Let's say approx 20% overall, and that's the big advantage to the UAE.
True, that's 100% true. I mean, the tax advantage is one of the biggest UAE advantage we have as compared to the other economies. Definitely UK, USA, and even USA have two different type of taxes. One is the federal tax, and then there are state taxes as well. So definitely
Yeah.
UAE is one of the most compatible place to start business with. So, continuing with the questions, is it possible to test the UAE market before making a larger long-term commitment? Yes, I think you have already answered, but let's just give another clear stance on this one.
Yeah, I mean, we can also issue a license for just 1 year, for example. And I mean, when it comes to a new incorporation, you can choose a 12-month license, and that's that. In that 12 months, you can test the market as well. But in my opinion, if you want to set up a proper business, you always have to think long term because success will not come overnight, and it's ongoing and it's hard work, but it will work out for you. And especially in the UAE, when you're active in networking and in your active in your community.
Right, right. That's great. So I think that's a very good approach. I mean, if you have a very large operation level business, or even if you are at a starting level in any other economy, let's say in the UK, but you just want to test the waters. So I think like this is one of our most economic and cost efficient approach to start with. So that's great answer, Robert. Thank you. There's another point that looking ahead to the next few years, what opportunities in the UAE are you most excited about?
I mean, in the next 3 to 5 years, there are several opportunities. Either AI, data, and digital economy will be growing. The private sector, let's say private capital, family offices, and wealth platforms are well-known, established companies in the UAE, and there is a huge opportunity for people, especially from Europe. To take over in that field because especially the second field is, let's say, it's a European thing. A lot of former UK bankers are specialized in family offices and wealth management. That's a huge opportunity, and even when it comes to energy transition and sustainability, Dubai wants to become more greener, as a more greener area in the world. And I guess there's also opportunity for set up a business because in the UAE it's not that green like in Europe.
Yeah,
But it's related to the weather. But the government wants to make Dubai greener as well, and I guess there's a huge opportunity too in sustainability and in greenery. And of course, there are a lot of more upcoming mega projects related to the second tallest building in the world, and Dubai as a global business hub. I guess it will be stronger in the next 3 to 5 years as it is now.
definitely. So, Robert, there is another, you can say, concern for some of the foreign business owners. This term Emiratization. So, if you can just guide a little bit about this process of Emiratization and when is a company required to get Emiratized? So, can you please just shed a little bit light there?
I mean, that percentage is roughly more related to a mainland company, to be honest, not related to a free zone company. But I guess it's when you have up to 20 employees. but I'm not well aware of that because
So
I'm working
the
for a free zone.
Emiratisation is not required for free zones, right? It's only the mainland thing.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, that's great. That's also one of the benefits you can say for the free zones because
Yeah,
uh,
of course.
mainland you will have to have some local either sponsorship or the employments, right?
Hmm.
Right, all right. So I think that's it we have from our audience today. So it was really insightful and informative webinar, Robert. Honestly, thank you so much for putting all the efforts and your support throughout this. And if the webinar is recorded, and if you would like to have more information, the audiences, we will definitely assist you with that. So do reach out to us if you have any other questions regarding the UAE advantage or the UAE expansion. So thank you so much, Robert, for this. See you again. Thank you everyone for joining us.
Thank you, Nabia. Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.